Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Welcome. Hi, we're going to play in the art room. Um, I miss you. Hi, love. Hi, everybody. It says that we are streaming to YouTube. I don't know if it's working or not. It seems to be that when I want it to, it doesn't, and when I don't want it to, it does. So we'll see what happens. How has everyone's weekend been? Have you had a good 4th of July? We opted to stay home this weekend. We did run into town because I did a thing. Hi, my friend that is trying to clear out an estate sale. Um, Hi, beautiful. Thank you. She messaged me and said, I don't know if you know of anybody that has a use for this, but she had a sewing room that is filled with fabric, yarn, and all of the things that go with it. And I'm like, sure, we're crafty people. We use it all, right? So the back of my truck is 100% full of stuff. There's yarn, Greta. There is, the popcorn tins, the big ones that they do at Christmas. Um, there is one of those chock full of embroidery hoops. There's probably I know. Hi, everybody. We're going to play in the art room. Get your jelly plates, get all of your things, get some paper, and yeah, I didn't go live. It says I'm live on YouTube, but it's not. So whatever. It's all good. Get your jelly plates out. We're going to play with them. Um, this is my so-called anniversary show. And I say so-called because my anniversary was last week, but you don't know where he is. Girl, get your paints then. You can just paint. Um, it's been 2 years since I've been selling on this app. I went back through my profile, and the first time I ever went live on Whatnot was June 30th of 2023. I'm live. Good. Thank you. So I was going to do a huge sale. I've got all the things listed and it's a deal, but I just want to play with some paint. So, you're all checking. I know, right? Um thank you all so much. It's been a crazy ride. Like I have made so many amazing friends. I have grown so much as a person and had the ability to help so many people. It has just been really kind of life altering. And I know that's kind of deep for today, but that's where we're at. Um, Leslie, a reworker's passion. We FaceTime all the time. Greta, we talk on the phone all the time. I and I'm going to get myself in trouble because everybody in here, you all have made such a huge difference. Um, Stray Cat, like I I shipped all of your stuff to you this morning. It should have went out earlier, but I totally remade your bracelet that you bought, and because I wanted it to be perfect. If you have any problems with any of the sizing, please let me know and I will make it right. E Marcy, hello, welcome. Um, you got Craft Owl. I mean, all of you, Moody Virgo, I, y'all. There's so many people that I could just, in one way or another, every person in this chat has made a huge difference in my life. So I'm not going to get emotional. I swore I wasn't going to do this. Um, and I was going to wait till next week because my birthday's next week, and I was going to do a birthday slash anniversary show. And Ray, welcome. You know what? You make a difference because you're here and you're supporting. Oh, Leslie, I love you. Thank you so much for the tip. Um, it, everybody here makes a difference, and running the raid trains, running the swaps, playing in the bead room, playing in the art room, being able to share my creativity however I choose to do it on the daily with you all. It it gives me a sense of purpose to actually be able to share with you, but also learn from everybody here. Wire Weaved Uniques Bailey, one of my bestest friends. We it's a whole thing. We met on this app 2 years ago. She was actually one of the first people that I actually chatted with, and we discovered that we live like an hour and a half away from each other. And she got my old lady butt doing in-person shows and really putting myself out there. We feed off of each other's creativity, and it is just an amazing thing. So, Faye, I love you. Um, it's a whole thing. And she sent me my favorite oil for my birthday. I just got it in the mail today. So, thank you again, love. It's awesomeness. So, it's a whole thing. Thank you all. I have this big thing, this big thing I got, and July birthdays are the best. Yeah, Leslie has a birthday coming up at the end of the month too. There's a lot of people with July birthdays on here. I'm looking at this pile of stuff that I got that I wanted to do a demo with, and then I'm looking at my jelly plate. And well, happy birthday to him. Did you get a no, I'll talk to you later. So, I think what we're gonna do is just do the jelly plate. Oh, and this is something else I got. One of the things that when I was at my friend's house, they had this strip of paper, and it's actually cardstock. And I asked her, I'm like, what are you doing with this? And she's like, I don't know. It was just at the house. She's like, we may find something to do with it, or it may end up in the dumpster or the fireplace. And I'm like, can I take it home? And she's like, what would you do with something so weird shaped? And I'm like, we're going to make accordion journals. So look for an accordion journal kit to be coming soon, because this is awesome. It's just the perfect size for a journal. I wanted to show you that. It was sitting on my desk. So that's going to be a thing. I'm going to briefly talk. I'm going to get this bucket out of the way because we're doing jelly prints. Right? Make cards, all the things. Do I have room to flip this around? I do. I have room to flip the camera around and share with you what I have on my desk because, yeah, my desk is a mess. It is just not even. But I want to be able to show you these things. Next week, I'm going to be doing a seed bead show because I have 2 totes full of seed beads that my friend wants me to rehome for her. So that's going to happen next week. I promised her I would do it next week, so it has to happen. And my good friends know that you have to give me a deadline if you want something done. That is just how that works. When I have a deadline, it's awesome. And then next weekend, I think Rob and I are going up north. So it's going to be a busy week. So all of that said, let's get this camera flipped around and cover that up. Switch the camera, move the holder, flip you over. Look at me go. My desk is a mess. Got it? Make sure the charger see, this is what happened to me the other day. I flipped the camera around and the charger came unhooked, and it just did it again. So, a lot of people have been asking me, "Can I use this? Can I use that? Can I use this?" And I wanted to I went to the Dollar Tree because the Dollar Tree, and I got a bunch of stuff to play with because I wanted to see if it was actually feasible to do this with their acrylic paints. So I got ridiculous. I know I'm ridiculous, but I got all the colors that they had. I also got some watercolors. And so I guess we should say this is the what to do with things from Dollar Tree. I don't know. Cuz this is what we do. They have a lot of colors, you guys. I don't know if you have looked, and I'm telling you about it now, and then we're going to discuss whether it's worth it or not. So, let's see how this goes. So these are the colors. There's some pretty colors. There's some obnoxious colors, but there's some pretty ones. You're all about to read. Exactly. But you don't care for their paint. Have you used it on your jelly plate? That is the question. And one of the things that I learned yeah, one of the things that I learned when working with the jelly plate is sometimes the inexpensive, cheap paints behave better than the expensive paints. And I know when I'm doing my demos, I mean, I'm generally using this stuff or I'm using Liquitex paints. And I wasn't quite sure how it was going to play, but I figured it was worth giving it a chance, right? Because we never know. So, this is what's going to happen. We're going to play with the cheap paints and see what happens. I was disappointed that they didn't have a black. Okay, so they're open. They're kind of fluid. So let's just do this, guys. So grab your jelly plate. This is a really bad place for this. I'm going to move my stuff around so I have room. This out of the way. Yes, my jelly plate is a hot mess. And we're going to play with it. Please feel free to shop my bin. If there is anything that you are looking for, I am not opposed to running auctions because, we all need to make monies. But I want to play. So there's that. Jelly plate. A messy jelly plate. The other thing that I got there was they had a couple of stencils that I thought I could live with. And I'm looking at it now, and it has a Brad in the center, and I don't like that at all because we don't want that on the jelly plate. So let's see if we can pull this apart. Absolutely. Oh, oops. Okay, it's going to take a little bit more than yanking. Kind of hard to hold on to, y'all. Well, I just ripped the stencil, but it's gone, so that works. I mean, those are fun patterns, right? Of course, I grabbed the leaves and the feathers because why not? That one popped out easily. So these are just inexpensive, obviously, $1.25 stencils, and we're going to play with it. For those of you that are new, thank you, Bay. I appreciate you, honey. The gel print, English is hard some days. Gel plate is by Jelly Arts. There are a number of different brands, and from everything that I know, the only one they say that the Speedball one that Michaels is now carrying is not suitable for acrylic paints. You should only use their inks with it. A jelly plate is for making background papers, and I am getting ready to demonstrate how to do that to you. And please do not hate me because everybody that sees this ends up buying one. So, just saying. It is very addictive. However, it is very good for your mental health because it gives you a way to play without spending a ton of money. These got really expensive. So, Ray, please bookmark my Tuesday shows because we do mental health journaling on Tuesdays, which I think you will really enjoy. And most of the people in here are in that group and come to those shows. Jelly plate. You're going to need a brayer. It's easier with a brayer. You can manage it with a paintbrush, but it is often it takes a lot more with a paintbrush. Hi Maria, are you still at the lake? Thank you for the fireworks display. That was all the fireworks I saw this weekend, just saying. Maria posted beautiful display of fireworks over the lake on her Facebook page, so that made me very happy. You're fine. I'm babbling. We're just getting started. This is an old book that I use to roll off paint. These make great collage papers. I can pull from this if I need some painted book pages. It's just that way no paint goes wasted. So if I'm doing a green page, I could just literally rip this page out and use it as a tag or whatever in my journal. So I'm gonna lay this to the side so I can roll off paint. I think we're gonna start out with some earthy colors because no, we're gonna start out with some bright colors just for the sake of. So I'm shaking the paint up. We're gonna try this all together. Let's see what happens. It's not too runny. I'm using a little bit more because I have a larger plate. If you have the 8x10 or the 5x7 plate, you only want to do like 1 or 2 dabs of paint. Okay, just throwing that out there. We're going to grab a brayer. Oh, I should probably grab some paper too, huh? Yep. The other thing you're going to need is something to print on. I have an array of papers. This is copy paper, grid paper. I have stationery, just all kinds, old bills, receipts. There's just all kinds of pages here. So we are going to use that for now. If you don't have a book, you can just have a piece of paper beside you to roll off. You want to spread your paint evenly. I usually go up and down, back and forth to do that. Obviously, there's something on my brayer that's making weird patterns, but we're going to roll with that. Hmm. It's beating up. So we're going to see what happens. We're going to throw this stencil down. I am going to, I'll put this one down here. Take a piece of paper. You can use your fingers to pick up, or you can use a second brayer to pick up, whatever works for you. But basically what we're doing is we're putting patterns. That's interesting. I'm going to take this, I'm going to plop it over on another piece of paper and see if I can get that paint off of there. I always have issues with new stencils. It takes me a couple of times to get over the fact that they're going to be a mess. So I laid this on a second piece of paper like this. I brayered over it so the paint went on, and then I got this awesome pattern. Just basics. So we're going to set that aside. This paint is not drying as fast as my other paints, which is kind of weird to me. You would think that the more inexpensive paints would dry quicker than my artist paints. So it's a learning experience, y'all. So I'm going to wheel this off of here. I need more space, apparently. And we're going to go with a second color. So for our second color, we're going to do some turquoise. This is an experiment. I've never used these paints before. They have more water than pigment. And I can see that. We're going to see what happens. We're just playing with them. We don't have to stick with these. We can go to something different, which we may very well do, and I may write this off as a weird experience, but here we are. So I want to put some, I'm using this is just a silicone brush. I'm just going to draw some hearts in here because I love you all. And you can see that you don't have to buy stencils to use Gelli Plate. If you don't have one of these paintbrushes, you could actually get a spatula. A silicone spatula would work. The eraser on a pencil would work. Anything that will create patterns on your plate without gouging it. You don't want to use metal or sharp objects on it. And I say that because I have gouged one and made a hot mess before. A Q-tip, thank you. Yeah, anything that's going to make a pattern. So we have that. Oh, I'm going to do this, guys. Don't everybody freak out at once. Yeah, anything to pick up paint. The other thing you can do is look around your house, household things. I could literally take the bottom of this and make circles. I just made a mess, but you get what I'm saying. Anything that creates a pattern. Yes, I'm putting pink on. Sue me. All right, we're gonna throw some pink over this. I did not take the turquoise off, so it's blending and making a really pretty purple. I didn't do that on purpose, but you know what? It's good. So I'm gonna lay this sheet down. Take these excess ones that we just did. I'm gonna lay them on top of here, and I'm just gonna burnish this whole thing. Yeah, a cassette tape. I often use the backing of floor mats because it has a really good grid pattern on it. I also use the netting from a Thanksgiving turkey because it makes a great pattern. And once we get done experimenting with these colors, we'll grab some of that stuff and I'll show you what I mean. So then I'm going to pull this up. So you can kind of see the patterns underlying. Not really impressed. So we're going to not be impressed and we're going to use colors that I actually like. Oh, schmoy. That was a lot of paint. And we're going to try this. We're going to repeat this, okay? We're just going to do the same thing we just did, except for I'm not going to do 3 layers this time because I think it was a bit much for this paint. I have weird patterns on my plate. I wonder if it looks like something got stacked on top of it and I have weird things, but we're going to roll with it. So Rita, thank you so very much, love. I adore your swaps and can't wait to get them. And we'll do these. So we're going to do that. I'm going to again grab this page, pick up excess. They will be here Friday. Nice. On my birthday. Awesome. That'll be a great birthday present. Click on up above, click my name, and it's going to give you a drop down menu, and it's going to say view profile, and you go into my profile and you can click on my show, or you can, there's the top right hand corner, there's like a little flag, and if you tap on that, it will bookmark my shows for you. Okay. Judy, I'm agreeing. I'm not liking this at all. So maybe the Dollar Tree paints aren't the way to go with this, but it gives you a way to be able to play with stuff. We're going to get some good background papers. There's no doubt about that in my mind. We're going to have some good backgrounds that we can play with, we can build on, we can draw on, and we can throw them in our things, in our journals. Oh, Ray, thank you so much. I appreciate you. You are going to love this group. Hey, can somebody tag Carmen? Pretty please. She wanted to be here. I know she was going to pick some stuff up. And I don't know if she's home yet. So I'm adding some green to this. I'm going to see if we're going to lose all of the pattern. We shall see. You didn't get a flag on Android? Oh, yeah. What do you get on the Android, Mary? I don't know. Thank you, Stray Cat. Well, that's a little better to my liking, but we lose all the pattern. Hmm. Thank you, Wendy. Hi, Wendy. I didn't see you pop in. Hey, what do you guys think of all these little emojis popping up? You have to book shows individually? Well, that's a thing. They're fun. I know, right? I like these colors together. I don't like the way the bubbles are at all. I wonder if we dried it. All right, we're gonna try something. We're gonna try something. So sometimes we'll see if this works and add to the paper. Oh yeah, we can always, I'm gonna add some gel medium to this to give it some tooth and see what happens. If it'll stop um, bubbling up. Doesn't play well with others. Not blending. Hmm. Ah, that's why, because everybody was like jamming in. How has your weekend been? Are we having a good 4th of July holiday weekend? Some leaves. Let's see what we got here. I'm gonna dab some of this off. Bailey working on your art cards. That's awesome. I should be doing that, but after the week I had, I was kind of over art cards for a minute. I did get everybody's swaps mailed out. For those of you that did not have prepaid labels, I paid extra to have tracking for your swaps because I was freaking out because Tara's swaps got lost from May. And after I did that, which is kind of funny to me, um, that afternoon she finally got hers. It was almost 7 weeks. It was nuts. But she got them, and that's all that really matters. Um, so we're gonna see what happens if we dry this, if it makes a difference. I can still see it bubbling up. Ridiculous. Probably not our, I kind of like it too. I'm burying stuff over here. I have wet pages. I don't want them to stick together. And I need to get to my book so I can get this brown paint off because we're going to go with the green over that and see if we can pull this pattern. Dry, dry, dry. I'm wondering if it dries. No, this is older. This is old. I've had this since they first came out with the 9x12. So I don't know. It seems like it's been 15 years, but I'm not sure when they came out with it. But when they came out with the 9x12, I got this. Yeah, this plate. I washed it. Oh, guys, and I also got this stuff to make one. This is the plate. It has the paint on it. I'm just kinda waiting for it to dry a little bit, and I don't wanna take my heat gun to it, and I don't have a blow dryer in here. So, we're fanning it. I washed it. Um, the funny part about that. I washed it because I was in the middle of doing a project, and dinner got done. And so, you know how the timer goes off and you've gotta grab stuff out of the oven, and I went and grabbed stuff out of the oven, and I got it all set up and had dinner and had coffee, and I came back in here and I'm like, "Oh, no. No, 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 no." I had left the page on to pull, and it had, like, adhered to my thing. Like, I tried to pull it off, and it was just shredding. So I washed it. I do it every once in a while. I do stupid things like that every once in a while. I didn't have a choice. Sometimes you just don't have a choice. Okay, so we're gonna try some green over this and see what happens. And for all of you people that are new to jelly printing, this is not how it usually works. I'm just gonna point out it generally looks really awesome, and we're just trying some more inexpensive paints. Alice, my love, how are you? I was trying to get out of the house when you called me, and then I got home late and couldn't call you before I went live. So, mucho love. I got my thingy from you, but I haven't opened it. It's on the table. I will open it later. Thank you. All right, we're going to see if we can pull this and get a good thing. My love note. I know, right? I love getting love notes. You really want to get to your plate. You're opening a big happy meal that I was not expecting to be this big, and then suddenly opening up a lot of stuff from your mom. I don't wash it. Yeah, I rarely wash it. I mean, some people do it like, okay, so we're going to pull this off and I'll show you. So, some people will pull this print. Ah, oh, now we're talking business. Is this what y'all in moist climates go through? You have to wait for it to dry. I'm so spoiled. I like that. So maybe this paint isn't okay. All right. So here in Arizona, because I'm in the desert and it's dry, I don't have to wait. I just like put my paint down, and by the time I get my crap together and get another layer on, it's dry. I like this pattern. So if you are patient and you wait for the paint to dry between layers, then this stuff works. Oh, but remember, I threw some gel medium in with it so it didn't bubble up as much. Left a white spot in the middle, but I like that. Yeah, I like it a lot. Hmm. So all is not lost with the paints. If you are new to this and you have never played with a gel plate before, an inexpensive way to get paints is the $1.25 store. Just saying. And they have quite a few colors. So, you see the residual? A lot of people will clean this off with a baby wipe before they go to the next one. And this is why I say I just don't clean it. It's going to make interesting textures. But you all know most of my stuff is grungy. Let me this is my stack of jelly prints beside my desk. So I'm going to just kind of flip through for those are ones that I had. So this is for the demo for the raid train, for Debbie's raid train. We did envelopes to send giveaways. Oh, this is when we were playing with botanicals. So instead of using a stencil, I was using plant matter. And this is a bunch of different prints that we pulled during that raid train. Thank you. So you don't have to spend money on stencils. You can use botanicals. I like that one. Alice is going, it's all green. Yeah, I did everything in greens and yellows. I particularly like this. This is my horehound plant. Ray, we are going to totally corrupt you, love. Just buckle up. This one, this is probably one of my all-time favorites. I wish I could recreate it. The thing with jelly plates is rarely can you recreate what you've done. Typically, it is one and done. And it is extremely difficult to, I mean, you can't get an exact print. So these are all these are all botanicals. This is a whole list, a whole pile of when we were playing with botanicals. Oh, look at this one. Oh, that's pretty. Make a copy in the printer. Yes, ma'am. That's funny. That's something that I said to Tamara and I were chatting. And she was having issues that she was falling in love with her backgrounds and didn't know what to do. And one of the things that I used to do with my master boards is before I cut them up, can you buy one of the botanical prints? Of course you can, babe. I have them listed in my Buy It Now shop. So they, I used to make my master boards. I would scan them in, and I literally have a file on my computer that if I need a background, I can just go print it because they're all on my computer. So anyway, I'm going to stop flipping through these and we're going to get to making some more. Thank you. Wait, before I put this away, was there a particular one that you wanted? She's in my favorites pile. What color was it? That's kind of stupid. Blue purple. That's kind of. That's not blue purple. I think you just flipped to the side. Wait, the red. Yeah, yeah. This one? Okay, so it has the yellow brown on one side, and then it's got the red. This is the horehound again. That one? Okay. Post it. Pen. The grunge. I know I love the grunge. Got you. All right. So, the best part about this is you can learn. Thank you. I appreciate you. You can learn to make your own. Okay. And that is what we're going to do. I generally make journals with mine. Um, you guys don't care. We're going to DX the dollar store paints and go with the tried and true, what we all love. I love that. Is it red oxide? It looks like something I did, but I had a plant matter in it. I love those two colors together. Yes. Shh, Judy. Shh, 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 shh. It was a good experiment, and I can truly say everything has Payne's Gray in it in my world. I can truly say I tried it. It is doable for the beginners if you're just starting out and you don't want to spend a ton of money on paints to learn, right? That's my take on that for the day. So these are all things. I'm just going to grab some different stuff out of here that you can use on your gel plate doilies. We were talking about textures. Foam. Does anybody know what Punchella is? I know I'm so just like throwing this stuff at you guys. This is Punchella. It is actually the waste from when they make sequins. There's that. This is like my all-time favorite tool ever. It is this too is from the dollar store, folks. They sell this as rug backing, but it works very well with your gel prints. Trying to just find a couple of stencils because we're gonna I don't want to go get plants. I don't want to go get plants today, guys. We're gonna play with the stencils. We're gonna stick with the botanical stencils, however. So there we go. All right, here we go, loop-de-loo. We need some paints. What colors do we have in here? No, no, no. Almost out of that. I think I have another one. I do. There's another one. We need some darker greens. Punchella is hard to find. Then I guess I'll list some in my bin. Because I am pretty sure I have a whole roll of it. Pretty sure. Okay, we're gonna go with my earthy colors that I use all the time that are tried and true that I love. Are you ready for this, y'all? Ray Ray, good night. Thank you so much for hanging. We are going to enjoy getting to know you. Welcome to our crafty crew. Here we go. Thank you. Have sweet dreams, and we will see you soon. Okay, we're going to start out with some Payne's Gray because I need to. Night, Ray Ray. So cute. I have a stepdaughter, Ray Ray. So, very good. Payne's Gray. We're going to do it. We're going to unbury. Let's get all this stuff out of the way. Crap, Tim. I grabbed all the things and now they're all stuck together. Because why not? Okay. Again, you just want to spread your paint. Thin layer, translucent. See how it's not beating up? Another paint that's really good to use for this is the like the craft paints. What's the word I'm looking for? It's like gone. Apple barrel, that kind of thing. I know that's probably really old school, but you know what I'm talking about. The couple dollar paints that you get. I don't know how much they are anymore. I'm kind of trying to hold it steady so it doesn't slide around on my plate, which it's doing because I don't know why. Because it doesn't like that stuff that's on there. But you will see, I pulled some of it up where I was running my fingers, but I have a really good background pattern there. That can be used in your journal as lines for writing, which, I mean, most of the journaling that I do is I use my journals is what I'm trying to say. Most of them have more writing space than decorative space, I guess is the best way to put it. See, this is already dry. That's the difference, I guess. Now we're going to use a green gray. Put that on. I love this color so much. Spread that out. And if you are in a humid area, I would suggest waiting for your paint to dry between layers. I don't know that I say that often enough, but it is important that your first layer is dry before you start pulling because you're going to lose your patterns. The point of this is to let your patterns dry underneath so they're layered. You can go light to dark, you can go dark to light, you can use monochromatic. Whatever you want to do, just play with it. I've pulled this back and there's a couple of spots that I want to pull some more paint. I'm holding this here so it's steady on here. And so this is pulling the excess from here. I'm going to pull that stencil off. Now I want this all to dry because what I'm going to do is put a third layer of acrylic paint and I'm going to pull everything up that we just put on. Okay. So you can still see the lines in there. You can see the leaf pattern. And once we put, now if I just wanted this and I wanted clear spaces, one of the things that I don't know why I rarely say it, I could literally put down matte medium and pick this up, and every place that the paint has been pulled, it will just be show up clear on my paper. Does that make sense? Does everybody know that? Let's just do it. I'll show you. So I'm just taking my matte medium. I'm going to put a couple of globs of that down. I'm going to spread that all over this page or all over the plate. So I'm activating the dried paint underneath with my gel medium because technically it's an acrylic medium. I'm going to lay my page down to pull. I'm going to grab a piece of deli paper just to cover the whole thing because, you know. And I'm going to burnish this with my hands. So much for it being 12 by 12. Making sure that I get pressure on all of it. I'm going to grab the corner and this is what I got. So much beautiful grunge. But you can see where there was no paint, it just pulled clear because that's just the matte medium. So we're going to set that side to dry. There's paper stuck everywhere. And we still have a lot of pattern on here. So we could, just for fun, we're going to throw down some Naples yellow just to give a different background. And pull the rest of this pattern off. Welcome in, Stephen John. Flossie, welcome. We are playing in the art room. If you have any questions, please pop them in chat. If I can't answer it, one of my mods can. And we're just going to use the deli paper. Criminy. There we go. That is so crooked, Tam. Oh well. So we're just gonna pull the rest of that up with this deli paper. Shiloh, welcome, my sweet. How are you today? Happy 4th of July weekend. We're just playing on the jelly plate and still didn't pull it all. Oy vey. So there's a lot of yellow there. It's gonna make me do it. We'll try this. Did I use the face stencil today? I haven't. Do you want me to show it to you? Where is my face stencil? Oh, it's beside me. You know the story behind that face stencil, right? Out of town, just taking a moment to chill and peek in. Well, good. That means that you have out of town. Are you vacationing or out of town for work? So the face stencil I actually made. Those are my drawings. And I was doing a workshop on drawing faces. So I made myself a stencil. It's so fun. Making your own stencils, that's a whole nother level. It's fun. Just saying. So I'm intentionally picking up paint from the edges and putting it on the back of this page because I want to be able to use this in a journal and I don't want pure white. You're in a river cabin with 15 friends playing cards, eating and visiting, art walk into town. Oh my gosh, that sounds so amazing, Shiloh. I typically avoid going to the lake on holidays because we're in Arizona and there's so few lakes and so many people. It typically is just jam-packed with people. Oh, I like that so much. I like that so much. Yes, ma'am. There we have it. And so the back is already done. So this is an acceptable journal page. Yep. Okay. This is what my plate normally looks like with the grunge. Thank you, Sarah. I'm using too much paint. Just pointing out. Don't do what I do. Face stencil. Let's grab that because that's fun. So I made a lot of my own stencils. I have two different faces ones. So basically what I did was I took, oh, don't put that in the paint, Tam. I'll show you when I get done with this. Oh, squirrel. Squirrel. That's a lot of paint, girlfriend. You should like pay attention to what you're doing. No. Would I make you one? Yes. I've never sold any of my stencils. It is a very, very long process. Let me do this. I'll lay this down and then I'll talk about it. some paper. Oh, look. This is gonna look really good on this yellow. So, basically, I take a piece of paper, sketch paper, whatever, and in pen or ink or whatever it is I'm in the mood for, I will draw out a whole sheet that I want to be a stencil. Then I will get um, like translucent file folders and I tape them down to the piece of paper and I take a wood burner and I cut with the wood burner. And then when I've cut out all the shapes, because it leaves like bumpy things, I go back with a razor blade and cut all the ridges off. Making your own stencils is a serious act of love and patience, but it's pretty cool. Thank you. So it's a fun thing to do. It's it's kind of like meditation drawing. Does that make sense? Because I mean, this all of these are stencils that I've made. Um, paint lady faces all the time. This is another one that's one of my favorites, this botanical one, which we should be playing with because we're doing botanicals today. Fake botanicals. Um, do you have a wood burner? Yeah, they're just page dividers. They're like, here, let me show you what it is. I got, because it's an, oh crap. Let me get these all out. I have a ton of these. I got a bunch of these at Goodwill. They're like old folders. And so what I do is I just cut them apart and see how see-through they are. I can just put whatever I drew underneath here, tape it all down, and then I take the wood burner and I burn it. You can use your silhouette to make them. I will say though, check your settings for cutting through this thickness. A couple of them, where's like this one I made with my Cricut, and it's really flimsy because that was the thickest mill that it would cut through. Now, mind you, I have an old one. So if you have a newer one, yeah, it is. It may cut, I don't know. Just play with it, I guess is what I'm saying. Play with it, loves. I mean, I have so much crafty knowledge in my head. It's silly. I was a broke single mom for a lot of years, and all of my children are ridiculously artistic. So I had to figure out cheap ways for my kids to continually have art. Yes, it is like a Cricut. It's just a different brand. It's a small one. Yeah, try it. I mean, this is the top of the jelly plate. This is because I put the paint down. I put the stencil down. I pulled up and then I keep it, let's Still not dry. Good Lord, I put a lot of paint on there. This is the back of the jelly plate. So this is the jelly plate that we're looking at. So basically what I'm doing is I'm waiting for this paint to dry because I don't want to lose any of these outlines. And once these dry, I'm going to put another layer of acrylic paint on. Now I can put red paint on top. I can, if I get off my butt and go get red paint. Oh, I have some right beside me. Okay. Cad Red. What is this? Cad Red Deep. Will that work? What is this? Okay, we're gonna do Cad Red Deep because Moody Virgo says so, and yeah, it's the whole thing. So do we want just the faces and just blue and red, or do we want another color mixed in? Can we get white stars? Shit, woman. Do I have a star? I don't even know if I have a star stencil. Okay, we're gonna have to draw stars. Okay, we can draw stars. We can draw. We're gonna draw. Yes, ma'am, we're drawing. So red. Where did I lose that to? Behind all this paint. If you guys saw my desk right now, you would die. Okay, so we're gonna spread this out. Bay. Have fun. Much love to you. Thanks for stopping by. Thank you again for my birthday present. Much love to you. Okay, so we're just going to do little stars. Random. Boy, I messed that one up. Got too much paint on it. Sometimes, oh, that's from my class. I don't want to do that. Sometimes you need to wipe the paint off of whatever tool you're using if it gets to be too much. So I'm just going to wipe it in my book. And some down here. Over here. So I'm just like randomly putting stars down. Bailey, send me pictures when you're done. Welcome in, everyone. We are playing on the gel plate. So this paint's starting to dry. So it's kind of giving me fits. I'm going to put some little random circles in here. Maybe. So all of this said, you can create your own patterns. You can use anything you want with your patterns. Absolutely nothing says that you can't do your own thing on here. Gel plates. So we're gonna do a let me figure out what I did with it. We're just gonna throw some white down. Just plain white. Yes, we're doing red, white, and blue. It's a whole thing. We're gonna activate all the paint underneath. I think that's gonna be enough. I'm gonna make sure that I don't have red paint on here because I don't want it to be pink. There we have that. We're gonna lay our page down to pull. We're gonna grab another piece of tissue to throw over the top of it. I wish I could reach my, I can. So burnishing everything, make sure that it's well burnished. Get as much of that picked up as you can. And then we're gonna do the reveal. The stars did not show through. JW, thank you. So there's that. It is. But here's the thing. We still have a lot down here. Let's see what happens if we throw some white down again. Oh, schmoly. That's a lot of paint. Get rid of this pink because it's killing me. Spread the white out. Trying to keep it from turning pink with all the red is a challenge. And again, let's make some stars. The design looks like a Turkish rug. It does. I know, right? It's a whole thing. So, do you understand why this would be so good for your mental health to just sit here and play with this stuff? There's no control, no expectations. The only thing that my brain is saying right now is I'm going to have awesome background papers. That's it. They're going to be awesome collage papers. That's it. You know, the whole thing. Who knows what's going to happen to this Nobody really knows how it's gonna come out because you don't know how much of that was left over. The Turkish rug was left over underneath. Who knows? Yes. Um, this is deli paper that I'm pulling this excess stuff up with right now. You can use junk mail, you can use envelopes, you can use I do have craft deli paper. You There's so much you can use. Hmm. Well, that was interesting. You can use newsprint. Um, One of my favorite things to use is medical paper, the rolls that like you sit your butt on at the doctor's office. Um, all of those things can be used. So we're going to do something very backwards because we have our reds, we have our stars, we've got some grungy, but what we're missing is our faces. Mhm. Great minds. That's where we're going. So I'm going to go back to my blue. I'm going to brayer that out. It's not a thick layer, but it's still the blue. We're going to lay down a faces stencil. We're going to take this, we're going to lay it down. We're going to burnish it really well down in there and see if we can get those faces to print on that. You can add as many layers as you want. As you know, working with acrylics, you let it dry and you just keep going. Um, you can have 20 layers, seriously. And I'm using my fingers, pads of my fingers, to push down in that stencil. And that is one of the things with the stencils that I made. It is thicker. So you have to give it a little bit extra to get that all picked up, okay? Because we're going down in a lot deeper. I want those eyes. Wilfod, welcome. Cheryl, thank you. Nikki, welcome. V, welcome. How are you? That is really cool. Way cool. So we're back to the faces on here. What are we going to do with the faces? And sometimes that happens. Paint from my dirty stencils peels up onto there. I'm okay with that usually. Um, it's a whole thing. It is a whole thing. We're gonna go dark. What is the base that I am layering on? It is a jelly plate. Amber Stanley Art, welcome in. It is a jelly plate. Let me roll this out and then I'll see if I can find it. The package to show you. Um, There are a number of different brands of jelly plates. You can, the only one that I would not suggest is the current one that Michaels is carrying because it is, says right on the package, do not use with, acrylic paint. You have to use the Speedball paints with it. I don't know how true that is. I don't want to spend the $50 and find out if they're telling the truth. So I stick to the what I know. I know that Art Lines, I know, right? It's so weird. It's like I'm curious, but I don't want to spend the money to find out. So Art Lines has them. So it pulled up some of that grunge from our Turkish rug we did. It pulled up some of the faces. And so that's just like a really crazy background. Yeah, it's expensive. Thank you very much. Um, so you can kind of see a little bit. There was some grunge in here, and so the second print pulled this up. Same stencil, two totally different looks. I love it. Thank you. Jelly. So the one that I'm using here is a 9x12. It comes in a plastic that you want to keep so you have something to store it in. It's Jelly Arts. It's a gel printing plate. There is another brand that you can get that is escaping me right now. Cannot remember the name of it, but it's a couple of dollars less than the Jelly Arts. Either way it goes, they love you, babe. Have a good night. Thank you. Have a blessed rest of your weekend, my friend. So Art Lines, she actually has a store and an art store, and she's a seller here on the app, and she often has the gel plates available for sale. Basically, to get started, you need some paint, a plate, and a brayer, and papers. You can make textures with anything that is not going to gouge it. You can use stencils, you can use bubble wrap, you can use all the things for this. It is like your Vicky Bouton. There you go. Yeah. So there's a bunch of different ones. Just don't get the one at Michael's because it says right on it you can't use it with acrylic paints. But they have a whole rack of, I was just there today. They have a whole rack of Speedball paints and they're like $19.99. It's out of control. The world is out of control, guys. I'm just saying. Who's going to pay $20? You're pay $40, $50 for the gel plate, and then you are only allowed to use their paints with it because all other paints are going to ruin it. No, thank you. So yeah, this is a fun thing. I demo it very frequently just because we love it. You have a 9x10 plate. Awesome. So that is going to be Ranger. Vicky Booten is a designer for Ranger. And so if you go to is it rangerinc.com or just ranger.com? I don't remember. Um, you can check out the different ones. This is another stencil that I made a bazillion years ago. You can tell it's like buried and it's buried. There's so many different things you can do with these guys. My biggest thing that I love using these for is making pages to make journals. Um, all of those things. And so I'm just picking up as much of this as possible. American Crafts on box. It's a starter kit. Oh, there you go. Thank you, Wendy. They have a starter kit. Rangerinc.com. Thank you, Pamela. So see, that we'll take care of you and get you there. Probably they don't like us putting links in here and all the things, but I know, like I said, I know there's a couple of sellers on here that do carry some of the stuff, but if you cannot find it or they don't have it available, you need to be able to find what you're looking for. Oh, I ripped the paper. I guess I'm done with those leaves. Oh, they're kind of cool. So again, the stencil that I made, what I like to do with these, I'm going to pull this off. I'm going to set it aside and let that pattern dry. But another thing that I like to do is that I just pulled off of there, lay it down on a piece of paper, and grab another stencil or another brayer and roll it over your stencil. So if there is still paint on there, you get that grungy effect. You wrote Carmen with the address for your DJ online the other night, and now every time I write her in personal messages, it tells me there's something wrong. Oh, I know. I'm telling you, they don't play with that stuff. So I'm just gonna randomly dab some of this paint. And this is gonna be a page that is honestly probably gonna end up in a journal because it has lines. And so this is a good place for me to do journaling. Most of the journals that I make are journals that I use. I use them to take notes, to make lists, to journal, to keep track of my business. They're all done, and most of my journals are made with jelly prints. And my brain loves it because they're not boring white lined sheets. Every page I turn to a different decorative page. I'm trying to find one next to me. I don't have one next to me because it is in the basket with everybody's swap envelopes. There's that. Okay. So back to our gel. We have our leaves that are dry. What are we going to put on here now? Let's throw some trees down just for something different. So we're going to put this green gray, pop some down. Oh, and if you have any questions about this, this is streaming to my YouTube channel. So if you're on the YouTube channel watching this, hi and thank you for indulging me. But you can go back, and the cool thing about YouTube is you can fast forward, pause, go back, look at all the things. And if you have any questions or you missed any part of it, you can go back and grab it. Um, so there's that. We're going to grab a semi-clean sheet of paper. And if you wonder why I'm making the trees sideways, because these pages are going to fold this way when I put it in a journal. So I want the trees to be up and down in the journal, not upside down. I'm going to grab another piece of deli paper to grab that excess paint off of there. So this will be a page in my journal that I can write on, which is loads of fun. I'm going to pull this stencil up. I'm going to let that dry just a bit so I can maintain the branches on there. And I think we're going to throw down some of this flesh colored to pull it. And basically what happens is this is dry. The new acrylic paint is going to activate the paint underneath. So when you put your paper down, it's just going to pull everything. I'm literally going to put it on the back of this one so it can be a very intentional journal page that is filled with trees. I'm going to take this and put it back on top, and we're going to use it to burnish it down. So then when we pull this, it has all of the leaves underneath, but it also has the faint outline of the trees. So you get all of the letters. Thank you. Yeah. So this is going to go in a journal of botanicals. And there's still some pattern on here that we can get to. Let me see. Wendy. Oh, Wendy, I love your work so much. Okay. Guys, look at this. Isn't that gorgeous? Wendy does amazing work. I really like that a lot. We're going to have to chat about that. Thank you. I love it. Absolutely. We'll discuss that. Do I use stampers? As in stamps? Holy moly. Yeah, I do. In general or on the gel pla well, yes to both, but yes. I have a whole stack of stamps beside me because I was showing people how to, pull them off of wood blocks. Yeah. Um, she yes. Wendy, you can explain. Yeah, it's craziness. She uses beads and glass to do paintings with. She's also an artist. She paints with acrylics, but in her mixed media pieces, she adds beads and glass to her artwork. Her artwork is just amazing to die for. It's a whole thing. It is, it is. Okay. Can you follow Wendy? You can. Just click on her name and just click follow or friend her. We're gonna get her selling her art on here yet. So does anybody have any requests or anything you would like me to show you? You are friends, I know. Um, I don't know. I could just keep doing this all night long. I'm just saying. I'm gonna revert back to my favorite base color, Payne's Gray. I'm pretty sure that I don't remember the last time I did a painting or no, I really don't remember the last time I did a painting without Payne's Gray in it somewheres. It's a whole thing in my world. Um, it screams. The air conditioner's on, so it's like another stencil that I like using a lot is this brick wall, just because it creates really awesome journaling lines. I'm trying to dig under all these stencils to find something that needs lines on it. Nothing, so we're just gonna start again. Um, because when you're throwing this in your journal, you kind of have some built-in lines. Yes, it is acrylic paint. You can use watercolors on here. You can use alcohol inks. You can use, I've never tried oils. Not big into oil painting just because they take forever to dry. And I would imagine the oils would kind of be like the paints that we were using earlier. They just don't dry. But I do know that some people have used them. I just can't tell you how to do it. Are we all stuck? So we have this grungy brick wall, but we also have this grungy brick wall background that we can play with. Um, yeah, it's pretty dry. So I use all kinds of acrylic paint for this. Sometimes the cheaper is better. It's a canvas. The tree is gallery glass paint. The leaves are crushed glass and seed beads. Whole canvas is covered with resin. Yeah, I'm telling you. You do have watercolor. Yeah, it works. And she grabs 2 translucent paints back to back. I didn't do that on purpose. This green is a new paint. I have not, really used it that much. There's some random flowers on here. Getting attacked by stuff over here. Here, we'll throw some flowers on the brick wall. Again, I'm holding it so it doesn't slide with one hand, and I'm using the pads of my fingers to burnish it to get down into the grooves of that stencil to pick it up. So the point is to get the pattern down, because when we go to pull this, which we're going to do with a lighter color, as soon as I unbury all my papers. Oh, Tam. I'm so buried over here, you guys. It's kind of humorous. There we go. Back to our white paper. There's some white paper under here. We do. There we go. Computer paper. I'm literally using just copier paper, computer paper. We're going to go with just some unbleached titanium. She needs to. Maybe. This is almost empty. So I'm just going to put a couple of dollops, excuse you, of the unbleached titanium down. What this is going to do is I'm going to spread it all out. It's going to activate the dried paints underneath, and then we're going to pull it with a clean sheet of paper. And we're going to see what we got on this one. Lay this down. Grab my deli paper just to keep from getting covered in paint from those edges. But you want to make sure you burnish the whole thing. Pulling my deli paper off. Take this bottom edge really well. So I can feel this is damp. It's wrinkly. I can pull this up and I can see that I got a pretty good adhesion to this. Bam. And there we go. Ray, I'm sorry. I know your mind's rolling. Isn't that amazing? This is collage paper. This is pages in a junk journal. This is, you can decorate your tags with this. You can tear it up and use it with your master boards. Playing with a gel plate is amazing. Joe Dispenza, yeah, he's got great music. Thank you, Pamara. I could do this all night long. Just saying. I could do this all night long. Yeah, I like that one a lot too. Maggie and me, I'm telling you. I run a demo raid train, And I participate in as many demo trains as possible because I think it's important to share your knowledge and not gatekeep information. So I try to participate in as many as humanly possible. And 9 times out of 10, they request that I do the jelly on my demo trains. I do it at least a couple of times a month without fail. It's a thing. You have to go to sleep, darling. Yes. It's a whole thing. So, yeah, make shapes, make your own stencils. Do all the things. This leaf one, no, I bought this one. This one I bought. See, I got my fingers in the paint. It just makes for an interesting pattern on this. Karen, hello, welcome. How are you? You want to make a painting like the stencil? I know. I have one, probably in my bin, or maybe not. I could do this all night long. I can. You guys, you just don't understand. I love this. Not necessarily. Or do they make? Yes, they make stencils specifically for jelly plates, but here's the thing. Jelly Arts sells stencils and texture plates and all the things, and they're god awful expensive. Um, you can use any stencils. I demonstrated using stencils from the dollar store earlier. It You don't have to even use stencils. You can use bubble wrap and stamp on it. This is rug backing from the dollar store. I use this all the time to create grid pattern. Paper doilies, plastic doilies. I mean, anything you can draw. You can anything to put pattern on that is not going to gouge the gel plate. I would not suggest using metal, just because if you gouge it, you're done for. You've got a permanent mark wherever that gouge is. So, oh, and this is another thing that I love. Ooh, we could do this one. Okay, we'll do this next. Yeah, it's just you are only limited by your imagination. I do botanical printing. Thank you, Wendy. I do a lot of botanical printing. I'll go out and I'll pick some plants and come in here and we do a whole show of botanical prints. Yeah. Grasses are awesome. It's just packaging. I'm getting ready to show you just because I can. This is an old piece of cardboard. I ripped it off. It's corrugated, but what it's going to do, we're going to go this way because we need lines for your journal pages. I'm going to, Katie, hello, love. How are you? All right, darling, good night. I'm going to probably be getting off here in a little while. Rob's making his favorite hamburgers and I can smell them. And I'm hungry. So this is just a piece of corrugated cardboard. I know. Have a good night, love. Then I'm going to take a lighter color. Yeah, ferns are amazing. We're going to go back to the unbleached titanium. That's almost gone. Don't want it to blob out too much. You gonna go just a little bit? I'm gonna roll this out just to get a little bit of that lighter color in those lines that I just made with that corrugated cardboard. It kind of went a minty green, which I'm okay with. I'm gonna lay my page down. I'm actually gonna use my brayer to push this down because I want these sides to match so I can use this in a journal. And this looks really cool. Just grabbing, because I'm grabbing from the side up here some color and pulling it across this page. I'm gonna grab my edge and I'm gonna pull this up. So this is what my page looks like. So you can see how it pulled those lines in. And then this is the side that I was rolling on. So this is actually going to be an amazing page in a journal. This is sopping wet, so I'm going to set it aside. And I'm going to take just my deli paper and see if I can pull some extras up. All right, darling. Thank you for hanging with me. I'm going to get off of here as soon as I get this pulled up. Hugs and love. Have a blessed weekend. I'll see you Monday. Wait, do you have a show tomorrow? So there wasn't a lot there. So I could just throw some white down. You're very welcome. I told you, you're either going to hate me for corrupting you or you're going to love me for introducing you to this crazy world that we live in. It's a whole thing. So usually when I'm done playing with stencils and paints and all the things at night, I will just put a thin layer of a neutral color down. And I'm kind of like pushing on the edges, activating all these things. And I am going to lay down this jelly paper and, in a sense, use it to kind of just clean off a ton of the paint that's on there. That's my way of cleaning my jelly plate. Unless absolutely necessary, I don't often clean it. So I have some fun pattern paper here. Let's see if we can get any more of that to pull up. And these are just some of the different ones that we did tonight. Yeah, some of it's coming up. That's cool. There's another one. And I'm just pulling excess so it's not like a ton of stuff on there when we go next time. So there, we're done. So when you go to put it away, where did I put my thingy? What's over here? I always leave, it comes with two acrylic. It's a bottom and a cover. I always store mine. My cover's destroyed. That tells you how old my thing is. I always store mine with the covers on, the top and the bottom. The jelly plate is in between. I put it back in the package. And I just close it up. And that is how I store it. This package is like destroyed. That's awesome. Yeah, I do this very, very frequently. like I said, I run the Artisan Creative Train, and it's once a month, and it's 30-minute demos. So a lot of times people ask me if I can do this for that train, but I do art room tutorials every Tuesday. So I'm always popping stuff out and doing that. I just wanted to kind of come on today. It's my 2-year anniversary. I have put the show off for days and days just because life has been crazy busy. And I'm like, I can't put it off anymore. I've been playing in my bead room all week long and have been avoiding my art room. So I wanted to just come in and play a little bit. So these are some of the things we did. There's actually a lot in here. I like that one. That's one of my favorite ones. Um, this is the one that looks like a Turkish rug. Oh, there's like a tons of papers up here, guys. There's that one. This is one. And the fun part about doing this is everybody plays differently. That is amazing. Yeah. What I do is, do you have them listed under the plain white envelope? Oh, well, here's the fun part about it. I'm not telling you to buy something. I'm telling you to go into my shop/bin, and the top thing should be jelly print. Click on it and see how much your shipping is for it. It should be 73 cents or 90 something, depending upon where you live in the country. Because I'm on the West Coast, I'm actually in Arizona. So if you're in Florida, it might be 97. Yours says 73. Yeah. So here's the thing with it. I can get 3 jelly prints in one envelope. And the cool thing about it is if I'm doing a demo and somebody's like, "Oh, I missed it. I want to see it." If they purchase one of the gel prints, then they have their video receipt, 73 to Florida. Nice. And then they can go back and rewatch the show if they missed something. So these are the ones that we played with the Dollar Tree paints. I kind of like that. I see a face in there. That could become a drawing. This is my favorite one. This is the one that we added gel medium to. And these are just the but this is literally using Dollar Tree paint, you all. Yep, I fold them just like this, put them in a plain white envelope. Yes, ma'am. If you have questions about it, you are welcome to send me a DM. I normally do seller support chats. I did not do it this week because I had a 3-day raging migraine. But I am more than happy to answer those kinds of questions. So this is just one of the sheets that we pulled. There's some leaves. I like this one, the tree page. Yeah, and I always here, I'll show you. I gel print on my envelopes. So basically what I would do is I would fold this into thirds. I would, yes, you can look. I would put it on the envelope, obviously fold it correctly, close this,
Get out of there. And then I would put my shipping label right here. So when it arrives, not only do they have this, but they also have an envelope that they can cut open and add as a um, pocket in their junk journal. Where's the red Turkish rug one? It's buried under here. I know, right? It's buried. I put it with your other one, babe. You're welcome, Ray Ray. So it's just, and it's like I didn't make envelopes tonight because, we were doing other things. So Ray Ray purchased some, and I used my envelopes to clean up my gel plate. I use my envelopes. Hi, Tamara, how are you doing? I use them to clean up paint, that kind of thing. This I was doing some watercolor, stamping off my stamp. So when I send out PWEs, whether it's a giveaway or people are purchasing the gel prints, it's going to come in something like this. So when you get it, you know that you can just slice up here. And not only do you have whatever it is you purchased, whether it's a giveaway or the gel prints, but you now have a decorated envelope that you can use in your journal. I had a ton of paint on my paintbrush. These are just stamping off a stamp. These are pulling extras. See what I'm saying? Paint doesn't go to waste in my house unless it's on my hands. Oh, look. Ray Ray, your stuff's coming in this. So just some different input on, and the thing with it is if you put your label here, it's a lot. So I decorate the front of it and I put my label here so it helps seal that flap. Because a lot of times if you've got like the licky ones, the licky ones, if this is activated while you're putting it in your paint or whatever, you want to make sure that it's sealed really well and that whatever you're sending arrives. So yeah, I always, when I'm doing art, when I'm doing jellies, anytime I'm in the art room, I have a bookshelf beside me that I keep um, plain white envelopes in, and I use them for extra paints. So I have a decorated thing. It's a whole thing. JW, I just saw something pop up. Oh, thank you, darling. Do you have any particular color that you want? Or any particular one that you saw tonight? Do you have a favorite color? Something that will go with grungy steampunk. Are you doing a journal? So you're gonna fold it like in half for pages? Tons of stuff that'll go with grungy steampunk. Are you okay with neutral? Ooh, this one, I think. Tell me if I'm wrong. So this is the faces with the leaves. And then this is the browns and the greens. Okay, got you. And then we need to find you oh look, I even have an envelope to match. How sweet. I have an envelope to match. Got you. Okay, that's easy. Thanks. Yeah, I have a few gel prints here. Just a few. Thank you. All right. Has Carmen gone on yet? Does anybody know? I know she was supposed to be going on tonight, but I don't remember what time. Amber, I have been, this is going to be bad. I have been in paper crafting for over 30 years. Um, a lot of them were purchased from stamp stores. A lot of them were purchased. They sell them at Walmart. They sell them at Michael's. They sell them at Hobby Lobby. They sell them on the Big A. My very favorite stencils are the ones that I make myself. The ones I make myself are my most used stencils. Basically, were you here earlier when I was explaining it? Okay. So they're my favorite ones. I mean, obviously. I'm not waiting an hour. Thank you for checking for me, darling. Um, it says 8:45. Okay. Thank you for checking, yo. We'll find somebody else to write into. But my favorite stencils, if I am going to purchase them, and I mean, I've got Tim Holtz stencils, I've got Diane Reevely stencils, I've got um Dina Wakely stencils, I've got gosh, I'm like Jane Davenport stencils. I've got so many. My favorite ones are by Crafters Workshop. And if you are going to go searching for them on Amazon or any place like that, pay very close attention to the size that you're getting, because most stencil companies make 6x6, 8x8, and 12x12. Most of the ones that I was showing tonight are 12x12 stencils. And even if you have a smaller gel plate, it is always better to hang over the edge than to be too small. Does that make sense? So the majority of the stencils that I have are 12x12s. Yeah. But like this, let me get all this nonsense out of the way. There's a kind of this is one I made myself. And these, like I said, they're just old plastic file folders. And I keep them off to the side, but let me get this out of the way. And I can show you. Most of these are made by Crafters Workshop. They have many different artists. So there's a bazillion different styles of these that you can get. And you can also get them in the 12x12 and the 6x6. So just pay attention to that. But they're high quality. They're 10 mil. A lot of stencils they're not as thick and they rip easily, especially if you're using them for things like this. Obviously you can see I'm hard on my art supplies. I am a reformed perfectionist. I'm such a reformed perfectionist. I can't anymore. I spent 15 years as a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and everything had to be pristine, matchy, the whole deal. And yeah, it's not happening anymore, folks. This is my life now, and I'm much happier. This is my brayer, Am I gonna clean it? Nope. Look at that. That's just love. That's not a mess, that's love. That is a well-loved brayer. This brayer will get clean when there's so much paint buildup, it won't roll anymore. And that's just how I roll these days. So, all right. Anybody have any requests? Anybody like to see anything else before we find someone to raid today, this evening? Gosh, I didn't realize how late it was. Thank you all for hanging out with me, helping me celebrate 2 years on Whatnot. I appreciate all of you. Thank you to my new friends, my old friends, and everyone in between. Um, I appreciate you all. And I need to find somebody that we can raid into. Craft supplies. Let's see who's on. Does anybody? Oh, tweets on. Shop my stash. Well, that just explains that. We're gonna go see Tweet because Tweet's awesome. If you haven't met her, she's just amazing. Thank you so very much, Wendy. Much appreciated. Bookmark my future shows. I have a lot of them coming up, and I've been kind of juggling them around, but I also have shows scheduled that have just pop-ups. So if you bookmark those, if I decide to pop up, you'll get a notification. So much love to each and every one of you. I will see you Monday for live crafty shopping, and have a blessed rest of your weekend. Thanks again.